Hi everyone, we're so excited to walk you through who we are here at 811 Group and our opportunities. This presentation is to just share more information with you on who we are, whether you're just simply interested in learning more about us or you're actively going through our interview process. Now we are both on our internal hiring team here, which means we are finding and hiring the top talent for our company. So my name is Lauren Manili. I'm on obviously our internal hiring team. I've been here for about 2.5 years. Prior to this, I was with another company for about 3 years. Realized I wanted to find a company where it would provide me with a lot of growth opportunities to sustain me in the career that I wanted, and also find somewhere that I could make an impact on a daily basis. And I truly feel like I found that here with 811 Group.
Yeah, and hey guys, my name is Derek Kutzenbuehler. I am also obviously part of the internal hiring team, but I've been here around 2 years. Similar to Lauren, actually, I worked for another company for about 3.5 years before joining 811 Group, and actually pretty much the exact same. I was really looking for that opportunity to grow, a place that I could build myself, but I also will say that I was looking for more of that family environment and that kind of core culture that I felt like I was missing at my last job. Kind of those people that were my people that I felt excited to come and hang out with every day and that I knew would be there to support me. Additionally, I really wanted a place that I was passionate about. And as you can see, I'm kind of mentioning 3 of our core values, and that's what we're going to talk about today as we go through the presentation. But before we actually get into our 6 core values, I'll kind of pass it back over to Lauren to walk you through what we actually do as a company.
As Derek mentioned, I want to start by walking you through just simply what we do as a company, and then we'll unpack this a little bit more later. So 811 Group, we are a staffing, recruiting, and consulting company. So that means we kind of act almost like a matchmaker or middleman between our clients and then professionals out in the field looking for work. Now, these clients that we work with are all typically large Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 companies across different industries. Now, one side of our business, we have a team of account executives where they are the ones selling that service and seeking out the opportunities. On the other side, we have our recruiters that are finding the professionals and filling that business. And at the center of it all is our relationship-based sales approach. Now, again, in a little bit, we'll unpack more of the day-to-day of these 2 roles, but I want to jump into our core values, all starting with grit.
All right, so super excited to talk about grit. It is our first core value for a reason, and that's because our company really started from 2 really gritty people, and those are Jeff and Ryan, our CFO and our CEO. So they started this company back in 2000 in Ryan's parents' basement, and really, so they're fraternity brothers. Ryan was working actually for a different company, for a staffing company, and he realized I could do it a little bit better, and he wanted to find a way to do that. So he ended up leaving that company. He reached out to Jeff, who was working at a financial institution in Chicago, and convinced Jeff to leave his job and come help him start 811 Group. So like I said, it started back in 2000, but this isn't the grit core value because again, it takes a lot of grit to start a company from scratch. And that's something that we're still continuing to look for in people that join our company, is that hardworking mentality, those people who are going to come in and get things done, but also who want to have fun doing that and who are invested in that journey along the way. So started again in 2000, and we've historically grown almost every single year to the point where we started here in Indianapolis, but now we have 32 office locations across the country, and we're continuing to expand beyond that. But just a little bit more to be past the kind of what our background looks like, I also want to dive into the industry of kind of the space our company sits in. So in the staffing and consulting industry, it's about $201 billion of revenue just last year alone in 2023. And there's a lot of companies, honestly, that do something similar to us. But I think the cool thing that I want to highlight for our company specifically is that we are in the top 1% of that revenue, which means we're up there with some of the big dogs, even though we've only been around, since 2000. And we're really carrying, our weight and as far as what we're actually accomplishing in this industry. The other thing, though, to highlight is that's even though we're top 1% of revenue, that's only 0.3% of the market share. So that means there's so much opportunity for you to come into our company and help us grow, and just opportunity overall for us to grow as a company and open up new spaces, open up new office locations, and really expand our reach across the country right now. So a really exciting time for our company, and looking forward to bringing those people in here who want to help us expand in this next phase of our company.
As Derek talked about, grit is definitely the backbone of our company. It's certainly how we got started back in 2000, but innovation is really the muscle that has allowed us to grow over the past several years. I think one of the best ways to also talk about how we've been innovative is to kind of go back to the beginning and talk about our story again. So in fact, all of 811 Group, it started as just Brooksource back in the year 2000, and it was only IT staffing. We've kind of gotten innovative since then, and now Brooksource is our IT and engineering services. Since then, we had a big push from a lot of our healthcare clients. They loved our services we were providing, but wanted a little bit more tailored to the healthcare industry. Then in 2012, we started MetaSource, that healthcare division, and even that started as just IT, but since then, it has also evolved because we've been so innovative along the way that we now cover several different areas of the healthcare industry. Since then, just a few short years after that, in 2016, we had another big push from our clients. They wanted even more from us because we were so good at what we were doing. So then we opened up Calculated Hire in the year 2016, and this is known as our creative and professional services brand. So we found ourselves now 3 separate divisions, but we really wanted to unify everyone, tie them together, let them know that we are one company. So that's when we created 811 Group family of companies in the year 2017. So if you're exploring opportunities with us, I don't want you to think about what different division you see yourself in. I want you to really think about the opportunity overall, which is actually the next core value that Derek's going to get into here.
I'm super excited to share a little bit more about our core value of opportunity and what that looks like here in our company. This is something that I was really excited about when I was looking for my next company to join, and I'm happy that 811 Group does have so much opportunity to grow. So when we're actually looking at what that looks like here at 811 Group, I'm going to dive through kind of the day-to-day of our account executive in that sales seat, and then also in the recruiting side of things too. So as an account executive, like I mentioned, that is what we call our sales role. And if you're looking at sales opportunities in general, you might hear a lot of different terms. You might hear about sales development roles or business development roles. You might hear about a full desk role. That's just part of something that we do. But for us, you are running that full sales life cycle. And so I can explain what that actually looks like. For us, as you can see, about 50% of the time, kind of, I guess, once you start building those relationships, will be out of the office. You're going to be a little bit in the office, a little bit outside of the office. It's a pretty autonomous and independent role. Right away, when you're starting though, it does begin with kind of the cold calling and some of that initial lead generation to get in front of some of those clients. From there, your goal is to set up a new meeting, which is really just the first interaction you're having with a client. That could be something like a phone call, it could be a Teams meeting, or maybe it's a cup of coffee or something like that. But the goal from there is to keep expanding that relationship and getting to know that client through additional touch points and additional value add. So that could be going to a client's office, taking them to a sporting event, lunches, maybe you want to take them to a workout class, or again, truly whatever you're mostly interested in and what your client is interested in doing too. That's how you really begin to expand and build upon that relationship. So like I said, in your first few months, it is going to be a lot of time in the office and building those initial conversations. But as you expand, you'll be popping in and out of the office. And the goal is about 50-50 in office and out of office. You'll also get about 2 to 4 companies that you're primarily targeting. And again, you're running that full sales life cycle. So you get to kind of do everything from start to finish. You get to own that whole opportunity. You'll have obviously resources and mentorship along the way, but we want to give you that chance to really own something and make it your own along the way. So once you actually have built that relationship with the client and they trust you to the point where they want to give you business, that's what we call that last step here of taking the requirement. Once you've won over that business from the client, that's where the account executive now is going to bring in the recruiter. So just to kind of recap this, the account executive for us is that sales, the sales piece of our opportunity. Once you, I guess to kind of cover the recruiting side of things, like I said, once the account executive wins over that business, the recruiter is going to come in and support at this point. So the recruiter is a little bit more behind the scenes in a sense because they now are going to fill that business that the account executive has won over from that client. So kind of like, if you're in the interview process with us, kind of like we're doing with you, we'll be doing, a basic information call to get to know you and to tell you more about us. We're going to do an interview with you and pass your resume along to leadership. And that is what our recruiter is doing for our clients. So again, they're doing a basic search on LinkedIn or looking at different applications that might be coming through, and then contacting those people and doing those first round interviews to see if they would be a good fit for our client. At that point, if they think you'd be a good fit for the client, then they are going to coach you on what to expect for that client interview, and send that to the client to make sure that the client is also excited to do an interview with you. And at that point, hopefully you end up getting an offer from that interview with the client. But at that point then, the recruiters kind of takes on more of a coaching seat where they, or not necessarily coaching, but more of like a mentorship seat, and they're going to maintain the relationship with the candidate. So again, to kind of separate things there, the account executive maintains all of those client relationships. The recruiter is going to maintain all of those consultant relationships and dealing again on more of that consultant side of things. So that's really the main difference. But when it actually comes to the growth opportunities, they are pretty similar. No matter which division you're in or anything like that, our growth opportunities are going to be, again, pretty much the exact same. So even though you see on this slide, the account executive one has a lot more branches, that doesn't mean that there's more opportunity. Again, there's still so many more opportunities. This is just very high level, very basic levels of growth for us. The one thing I also love about this company is that if you are being transparent about where you see yourself in the company, you can really go anywhere. One of our reps that I've talked to, she's now a regional recruiting manager in the Pacific Northwest. Her goal when she joined our company was to be a regional recruiting manager in 4 years. And 4 years later, that's exactly what she's doing. So like I said, share those goals with your leadership, and they're going to do everything in their power to help train you and get you to that point. So again, very high level, but a lot of exciting things that you can do within our company. But now we're gonna hop on to the next core value, and I'll pass it back over to Lauren.
As we've talked about so far, we are selling a service to our clients. So that leads me into this next core value, service. We are in markets all across the country, which is just an awesome opportunity to serve and give back to those local communities. So what I want to dive into here is actually a few ways that we show this service core value here as a company. First up is our 8/11 day of service. This is one giant day where all of our markets, everyone in the company stops working, and we actually get out and volunteer in our local communities. Every office typically does a different organization, which is really cool. We're making an impact all across the company. So if you have something you're passionate about, share that idea with your team. The best part about this day is we actually invite our clients and our consultants to come along and volunteer and participate in it with us. So just a great chance to get out and serve your community, spend time bonding with your team out of the office, and also building those stronger relationships with your clients and consultants. The second service that we provide or offering for our internal employees is our Be Giving program. This is just an awesome chance for you to get out and also volunteer. So every employee gets 8 additional hours of PTO per quarter to give back and serve to the community. So whether you have things you're passionate about now or just outside things that you do, we don't want you to have to put that on hold just to have a career. We still want you to be able to pursue those things. So whether it's taking an hour here and there, leaving early, going and giving back, or maybe you're grabbing some friends from the office, taking a half day and getting out and volunteering in the community, we want you to be able to do those things. So obviously service is a really big goal of ours. So I actually want to take this chance to share a few other goals of ours. First up is definitely growing our current locations. We have 32 current markets nationwide, and we're definitely going to be adding to that, but we always want to be investing back in the people that we have here and making sure those markets are thriving and growing personally. Next goal is maintaining our healthy retention rate. Of course, that's something that as a company, we want to create an environment where you want to come and build a career and truly choose to stay. And I think it's because a lot of these reasons we've kind of talked about, the growth opportunities, the investment, the training we'll touch on here in a minute. So maintaining that healthy retention rate is just an awesome goal to keep going. Next goal is break $1 billion in revenue. This is going to be something that's so exciting when we do finally hit that milestone. The most exciting thing about this goal is that we don't have any outside funding. We're a privately owned company, so no extra resources or help. We've grown all of that ourselves, which is going to be really awesome. Last goal that I want to get into is just maintaining quarterly education of D&I best practices, continuously investing in our counseling services that we provide, and then also building out our employee resource groups that Derek will touch on here in just a minute as we get into our family core value.
All right, I'm going to kick it off with our family core value, which I know I've said it for opportunity, but I think I love this core value maybe a little bit more. So what we actually talk about when it comes to family is truly our culture. This is at the center of, I feel like Lauren said, people love to stay here, and it's because of this family environment that we create. Some of the things that we do, we would love to have a lot of fun as a team. Inside the office, outside of the office, it doesn't have to be structured. It can be pretty free flowing. But some of the things that my team has done, we usually go to the state fair every summer. For promotional parties, we took a day and celebrated one of my coworkers, took some boats out on the lake. So again, it's a lot of fun to get to hang out with people and celebrate some of those milestones that they're gonna hit in their time with our company. We also have our company-wide reward trip, which is for all of our top producers and leadership. Our company invests in them and gives them 5 days and 4 nights to go and spend in usually Mexico with a +1. So not only do we love getting to spend time with you because we feel like you're our family, but we want to give your family the opportunity to come spend time with us and for us to get to meet them. So that +1 could be your grandma or your mom or a best friend or whoever you want to bring, but we want to expand to get to meet people that are important to you as well. I will say though, yes, we have a ton of fun as a team and it's a blast, and I love having those people who are invested in me and want to see me succeed. But I think the accountability piece is also really important to us. I think we'd be doing a disservice as a company if we didn't push you to achieve some really exciting goals and to see where you could go in our company. I mean, we have people who are, going into market director roles, regional director roles, and they are building that out themselves and really excelling in some of those opportunities. So again, we want to hold you accountable to those goals, but we're also going to have a ton of fun with you and support you as you grow. I do also want to highlight that, again, we truly are invested in you. So it's kind of like a culture of investment. We have never done layoffs. We have never done pay cuts. And that's because we are so excited and we are so invested in where you're going to be in this company and what you're going to be able to do. We want to support you, again, like I said, along the way, because we do want to make sure that you feel like family here. You spend a lot of your time in any job you're going to be in the office. So we want to make sure that you are excited to be here and excited to spend time with the people in your office every day. And then last but not least is our connection group. So as the name implies, this is a way to connect people not only in your own office, but across the entire company. So it's based on different interests and identities, and you don't have to belong to a certain identity to use that core or use that connection group as a way to educate yourself on ways that our company values those identities or supports those different interests. So again, 6 different connection groups that you can partake in and kind of be involved in your time here at 811 Group. But that kind of wraps up our family core value. And last but not least is our core value of passion.
Passion is definitely the heart of our company. Hopefully through this presentation, you have felt the passion from both Derek and I, the passion that we have for this company and everyone that is joining it. So I actually want to end by just highlighting a few ways that I think we show passion for our employees here. First up is actually through our training. So the passion, it truly starts from day one. Your very first week, no matter what market you're in, we actually bring every single person to our corporate office here so that you can just be welcomed into the company with open arms, get introduced to a lot of our leadership teams, and really jumpstart that training. After that first week, you're then going to go back to your market and really dive deep into several weeks of hands-on training led by top leaders and mentors in your market, your director, your regional sales managers. You're going to have a ton of layers of support through that training, but it actually doesn't even stop there. Every step along the way, your career with the company, you're gonna have more training opportunities. If you're interested in those promotions that Derek talked about earlier or exploring early leadership areas, there's so many different trainings that you can dive into. Just vocalize that to your manager and they're gonna get you set up with the right training. It's an awesome chance to start that training from day one and carry that with you throughout your entire career here. Now, the best part is all of that training takes place at our new headquarters office that we have built in Indianapolis, which is kind of sentimental. This is where we started, so why not place our new headquarters office here as well? This is just a home away from home. We want to create a space where you feel comfortable coming, training, collaborating, and networking with other members of 811 Group. So last thing that I want to talk about, just some other investments and passions that we do, we've decided to invest in for our team. First up is our Professional Accelerator Program. This is just an awesome way to constantly be investing in yourself, your own personal and professional development. This is kind of centered around all 6 of our core values. You get to cross some things off, and once you graduate the program, you get to go and be a part of another team that's building a home for a family in need. So what an awesome chance to develop yourself personally and professionally in your own career, and then give give back to another family. So that's one area, our professional accelerator. The second is Lyra. This is our mental health counseling service that we've actually invested in free of charge for our employees. So this is something that we encourage you to use. From our lens, you have to take care of yourself outside of the office to show up as your best self in the workplace as well. Then lastly is Pete the Planner, or our financial concierge service that we've also invested in for our team. Again, this is something we want to provide for you. As you start seeing those commission checks come in, maybe you're looking to buy a home, plan a wedding, start a family, this is something that we want to provide for you so that we know that you're taken care of outside of the workplace as well. So that kind of wraps up talking about our 6 core values.
All right, and last but not least, I wanted to cover what to actually expect if you're interested in our company or if you're already in the interview process with us. So some of those things, just to highlight, one thing that we're always looking for is a strong work ethic. I think no matter what industry you're in, no matter what job you end up doing after college or your next jobs in your life, it always requires a strong work ethic, and that's something I think that you truly need to be in sales. There's sometimes highs and lows like in any job, and so you have to, again, have that grit like we talked about to push through some of those challenges that you'll see from time to time. I would also say that competitive spirit is something really important to us. Competition in our company is fun. Who can be a top producer? Who's going to hit the most calls? Who's going to challenge the next person to be their best self? And so it's kind of that fun competition that I think we're looking for people who join our company. And last but not least, I would say, as far as major qualities, just an overall desire to succeed. Kind of that internal drive and that internal push to keep going and, again, to kind of reach for some of those goals and see some of those results. I will add, I think, just having like an overall positivity and energy about you too is also really important, especially for our company. But some things, or I guess some ways to prepare too. Make sure that, if you're interviewing with us, that you're dressing professionally, put your best foot forward. As you'll see, not all the guys wear ties in our company, so I think we're kind of like a professional casual at times, but again, just have fun with it, but kind of put your best foot forward, especially in that interview here. I will also say something that to kind of expect there is really bring some of those examples of how you have maybe done some of these things in the past. So examples of your work ethic, examples of your competitive spirit, examples of that desire or some of those internal motivators. We want some of those, again, tangible examples so that we can see how you've done this in the past and how you're going to continue to do that with our company. Last but not least, kind of qualify yourself. So again, outside of those examples, tell us about some of those skill sets or qualities that you have that you think would help you in a sales or recruiting role with our company. But again, don't stress about it. Have fun. I think we're a pretty easy company to chat with. We want to truly get to know the best you. We're looking for really genuine, authentic people to join our company and to join the 811 Group family. So yeah, we're super excited. Like I said, whether you're interviewing with us right now or if it's truly just something you're interested in, we're excited to connect with you. And this is just a high-level overview of some of the locations that we're in, where we're looking to expand to, just kind of our overall reach as a company.
Thank you so much for watching through this video. Hopefully you've had some awesome takeaways and just learned more about our opportunities and truly what it would be like to work in a career here with 811 Group. If you do want to learn more after this video, feel free to either visit our website or if you're already going through our interview process, reach out to one of our internal recruiters. Thanks so much.